Hi everyone, welcome to the Comic Book Corner, and this is your host Spider Slayer. Getting ready to do a little bit of a review, in my opinion, of the Walking Dead original TV series, episode number 6. I think we're on now, episode 6. And sad to say that next week's episode is the mid-season finale. So unfortunately, we're going to come to a close for the holidays here for The Walking Dead. So I don't know what I'm going to watch on Monday mornings or Sunday nights or whatnot. So I'll be missing the show. And this particular episode had a lot of story line going on with it. Basically, with Lori and her pregnancy. Um, Another secret Glenn couldn't keep was the whole family in the barn thing. He told Dale about that, and he told Dale about the whole, uh, pregnancy issue. So um, the cat's out of the bag, and even Herschel knows that Dale knows about the whole thing too. So Herschel advised Dale to keep the whole thing a secret. Um, it looks like again this particular show was a lot of story, not very much action. It looks like a lot's going to go on based off of the preview next week, obviously because it is the finale, the mid-season finale. Um, in the beginning of the TV show, we see that Carl is back on his feet, and he, wants to also learn how to shoot. That is uh, same consistency as a comic book as well. Carl wants to learn how to shoot, and also um, in the beginning of the episode, before the opening credits, which was kind of cool, was that you got to see one of the family members break Chicken's legs and throw it into the barn as fresh meat for the zombies in there. I thought that was really pretty cool too. Um, but like I said, the whole thing, we see Carl back on his feet, and the next thing is the whole group wants to learn how to shoot. So they take them off into the fields, and everyone's learning how to shoot. And we see that Andrea now is becoming, just like she is in a comic book, is she's becoming a little bit more consistent in shooting. She seems to be that sharp shooter that we get to know her in the comic book as well. Um, the next thing is that we see that she's going to go onto a special advanced class, and we see that later on. She's training with Shane, and she obviously gets pissed off at Shane, and because she brings Amy into the whole situation, trying to motivate her, and we can see that it really didn't do any good because she's trying to shoot a moving target, and you know she's still a beginner, so what can I say? But they have a lead on Sophia, so they go the into the town, and nothing. Still no freaking Sophia since the first freaking episode. I'm like kind of over the whole Sophia thing, but I understand they don't want to abandon her. But the thing that they come into um, is that they come into this town just filled with walkers. I mean, they're just everywhere, and all of a sudden you can see that Andrea and Shane are trying to pick them off to get back into the car, and then all of a sudden you see this click that hits Andrea, that she sees like the slow motion, that she just bam, bam, bam. She just starts picking them off. It just a light bulb went off in her head on how to shoot, and instantly that's what happens. So we get into the car, and the next thing we see, something different that happens that doesn't happen in the comic book. Andrew and Shane hook up. That's right. So we can see that that is obviously different in the episode. Another cool part in this particular episode was that we see that Maggie and Glenn go back into town to get the morning after pill for Lori, and Maggie gets attacked by a walker, and it wasn't pretty, but there was some cool effects there where Glenn slices his neck off, and you think he's dead, but he comes back up and his neck is hanging. He's like, wah, and then Glenn just like smashes his brains in, and excuse me, and that was the end of that part too. So so when later on, Maggie gets all pissed off at Lori and says, don't ask us to do this and that, blah blah blah, and she runs away screaming, and Lori feels horrible about the whole thing. Maggie is in true love with Glenn now, and she doesn't want to lose him, so that's another thing in there as well. And another thing, Dale was shitting in his pants because he's trying to confront Shane about him and Andrea, and he's like, "Oh, I know what kind of guy you are, and you'll shoot Rick and this and that, anything to survive." You've been real, vague about everything that went on with Otis, and you can basically see that Shane just gets right in his face, and she goes, "You think I'll shoot my best friend? You think I'll do it? You think I'll shoot my best friend, Rick? What do you think if I if you think I could shoot my best friend, you think I'm gonna shoot? How about I shoot a guy that I hardly even know? Hmm? Hmm?" And he kind of just walks away. So he's getting all that insane look in his face, and and he walks away, and you can see Dale. He's kind of shitting in his pants a little bit. So and then Rick and Lori, they get into this whole conversation about the baby, and for the first time, you really see Rick get pissed off at Lori. I mean, he dug into her about holding the secret with the baby, and having Glenn go out in town and get pills, and and then at the end of the episode, you see that she tells him about Shane and her hooking up as well, and Rick kind of had the idea to begin with, that they hooked up because it was the end of the world, and she thought he was dead, and stuff like that. So and the episode kind of just ended like that. I'm like all into the episode, and no real cliffhanger, just kind of, oh, that's it. That's the end for this week. So, we'll go on to the following week. So. But that's basically in a nutshell of what went on this week in the episode. So two things, like, how do you guys think, about Shane and Andrea hooking up? I kind of could have seen that. That was kind of cool. And, what do you think's going to happen next week? Because it kind of looks like Shane goes on the deep end again. And what's going to happen at the end? Or are we going to be, left hanging for about 5-6 weeks or so? Give me you guys thoughts and opinions on the episode. I gave this episode probably out of 5. I gave it a 4 out of 5. A lot of story, but I know that the action's going to come next week. So 4 out of 5. Give me your thoughts. Tell me what you think. I love discussing it with you guys. And I'll be doing a comic book review soon. Again, it's the holidays, and I've been very, very busy. So I'll get back with you guys very shortly on some comic book reviews as well. And I appreciate you guys watching. And if you don't see another video, happy Thanksgiving. If you do, I'll say happy Thanksgiving again. But I appreciate you guys watching, and subscribe today. Take care, everyone. Bye.